Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Tyranny. Let's head inside what I assume is the blacksmith. We'll find Eldrian. Think I was right. Okay. Don't, let's see. Zdenya, Master of the Forge. Zdenya turns and approaches you, her lithe body moving fluidly as she walks. She stops before you, her stance solid and sure, but you see she is standing lightly on her feet, ready to move if necessary. She never takes her eyes off of you, but you know she is acutely aware of her surroundings. This is the person that was, on the way here, right? I guess she's already here. Fatebinder, may the fires of your forge never cool. She salutes you. I had hoped our paths would cross. Word has reached my ears of your hand in removing the Edict of Storms from Sentinel's Stand Keep. She nods to you in small salute. That was no small feat. I would ask you how you did it, but I'm sure you have more important things to talk about. In my years leading the Forgebound, I have never heard of a Fatebinder accomplishing something of such significance. It is an honor to meet someone of such distinguished deeds. What can the Servant of the Flame do for you? What an odd question, Fatebinder. When you showed up in the Forge, I thought you had been sent to check up on me, as my mission came directly from Tunon. Shouldn't you already know? I was tasked with creating an artifact to protect the Forgebound from the Bane. We have been delayed too often and lost too many of our own, so it was decreed that something must be done. I created the Magebane Helm to keep the Bane at bay. Once the helm is in place, its magic will keep the Bane locked away inside the old walls. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Sure. Then you are in luck. Once the helmet has been placed, the interruptions caused by the Bane will be no more, and the Forgebound can truly return to their work. Why did you create a helm? Oh, I guess specifically why a helmet? The Forgebound are crafters of weapons and armor, Fatebinder, not statues and baubles. I make what I know. It is also portable and can be moved easily or used in battle should its protection be needed elsewhere in the future. For the time being, though, it will remain here, protecting the Forgebound. We have a job to do and cannot do it properly if we are constantly assaulted by outside forces. This forge is in the shadow of the old walls in an area rich with iron. We have ample supply of raw material and the influence of ancient magics. It's an acceptable risk, and with the helm in place, the Bane will no longer be an issue. I guess we can ask that. All Forgebound are masters at their craft, but each also has their special talents. The Magebane required someone whose skills were well above those who haven't been practicing as long as I have. Tunon wanted a masterpiece, so he asked the master. I was trained at a young age to be a warrior, but never felt any connection to that life, except when I was instructed how to repair my equipment. The fire spoke to me. It sang when I stoked it and told me where to swing my hammer to achieve the proper shape. I knew from that moment that it would be my life. I apprenticed with the Forgebound and focused exclusively on my craft. Soon, my skills were superior to everyone else. I took risks with magics no one else dared to touch and created some of the most powerful artifacts ever to come from the Forgebound. Alright. Kairos recognized my skills and granted me the title of Master of the Forge. This is why Tunon asked me personally to create an artifact to protect the Tyranny's Crossing. Everything seems in order, I will take my leave. As you wish, Fatebinder. I was just on my way to replace the helmet. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to join us. The settlers have created a spot on the 3rd tier. I will meet you there. Okay. Is something bad going to happen? Oh, there's Eldian. The sunburnt man dips his head in greeting. An outsider never arrives alone. At least that is what my mother always said. Seems she knew what she was talking about. He nods thoughtfully at his own words. I'm Eldian. Welcome to the Tyranny's Crossing. Well, if it isn't Tunon's Fatebinder. Welcome back to the crossing. Haven't seen you around here since you put the disfavored in charge of everything. He looks you over. Must say, my memory seems to be failing. Something I never thought I'd say. He winks. The way people talk about how you came through and drove the Brotherhood out of town, you should be 10 feet tall and shoot lightning from your eyes. I seem to remember you being a little more human. Can't always tell the content of a pie from its crust, though, can you? Thankfully, the disfavored haven't been too bad. At least you didn't choose the Scarlet Chorus to be our overlords. But enough of my prattling. You didn't come here for a history lesson, or to get my opinion on your grandeur. Let's ask some questions. If you have questions about our settlement, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lathine's Crossing, so I've been here for a lot of its history. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about? I'll do my best not to go on too long about it. I know I have a problem keeping my conversations short. Oh boy. Ran into some merchants who were leaving town. If I were to be honest, Fatebinder, I'm surprised more people haven't left. Not just the merchants, the current tension in town between the Brotherhood and Kairos' forces is making Lathine's Crossing a very dangerous place to live. But life outside is even worse. So where would they go? At least the merchants can take their livelihood with them. The disfavored keep everything under tight control with incredible discipline. Everyone is expected to follow the rules to the letter, and the punishments meted out are harsh. Not really the best environment for the settlers, but the Forgebound thrive on it, and the disfavored only really care about them. If you have questions about the goings-on in the crossing, I'm the one to ask. I've been here for more of its history than anyone else. Sure, who was Lathian? The biggest pain in the ass I ever knew? He turns bright red, blushing in his words, then lets out a huge guffaw. I suppose I shouldn't talk about my mother like that. She was a mediocre merchant, but a great leader. The war in the Northern Kingdoms cost her a very lucrative trade route up north, but she managed to earn trade stewardships from Kairos, and for a short time, she had a monopoly on grain, salt, and tin here in the tiers. What did my grandmother say? Give a blind man time and a pile of rocks, and eventually he'll hit a target. Not to say she didn't deserve it, but I think luck played a bigger part in her success than actual talent. But Kairos gives, and Kairos takes. The next year, Lathian was stripped of her trade rights. Suddenly she had a large staff, but no goods to trade and no means to pay anyone. But she was a stubborn one and knew if she just kept at it, eventually things would turn around for her. She figured the trade goods could come to us. The location was good enough. It's crazy how that would happen. So she decided to concentrate on making an existing local settlement into the center of commerce for the tiers. And by the claws of a beast, she did just that. I thought she was crazy choosing a town nestled up to the old walls, but apparently she knew what she was doing. It wasn't long after that it was renamed to Lathine's Crossing. With the bridges over the old walls, that was the only place to go if you wanted to take weeks off your trip. Eventually she hired the Bronze Brotherhood to act as our local guards. We were big enough and had enough commerce to warrant the protection. I think that's an obvious answer, but sure. Of course! How did you think I became the Reeve of the Crossing? Certainly not my storytelling or charm. I may be the oldest living resident here, but that's certainly not a good enough reason to make someone a leader. Though, come to think of it, neither is just being the offspring of the former leader. But like it or not, that's how things are. My mother was a wonderful woman. She might not have been the nicest person, and she might have been over fond of a dalliance here or there, or through there or there, but who isn't? Sure. Lathian was the mastermind of that. She could tie a knot with one hand, one string. I remember watching her draw systems of ropes and knots in the sand, telling me what they would do when built. I thought she was crazy. Says she got the idea for the bridges from seeing galleys pulled out of the water into dock. Apparently, the hardest part was getting the initial climbing team to brave the old walls and set the first ties. But apparently, you can pay a man enough rings for him to overcome his fear of old walls predators. Okay. Necessity. The rope bridges led us across the old walls. With them, it didn't matter what the trade rights we had. We'd be at the crossroads to the northern tiers. An unbeatable location. The siege of Ardent and the Bastard City ended up helping us. All those folks heading to points east crossed through our little settlement, and many of them decided to stake a claim with us. By then, Lathian discovered there was iron in our rivers. She thought it'd make us rich, but it also made us a target. The old walls don't make passage through the area easy, and our bridges cut days to weeks off of a trip. Lathian's Crossing is the best bet to get your shipment where it needs to go. Mix a motherload of iron ore into it, and we suddenly had a target painted on us. I think we know his or her and their interest. I'm still not even sure if Kairos is a her, or even like a living being, because I don't know. It's really weird how they've discussed Kairos in this game. How some people seem to know. Anyway, what is Kairos' interest in the crossing? Iron, plain, and simple. Now we have the forge bound here, tunneling away with the ore they pull from the river. We're being squeezed from our resources. If you're after a drink, better to squeeze fruit than a stone, and it would seem many people find us to be very juicy indeed. There was a merchant who tried to peddle iron rocks as magical because they came from the areas near the old walls. One of the people he sold to happened to be a disfavored courier. The courier then showed the rock to a forge-bound master who immediately recognized its potential for making superior weapons. It was brought to Kairos' attention, and soon afterward, soldiers in Forgebound came to Lithian's Crossing. They came with such force, our options were either comply with what they wanted or die. Land? Breeding stock? They've been here longer than I have, so maybe they consider it home too. But Kairos' purse masters are no longer paying them to fight, and if a mercenary is killing for free, something's suspect. In the end, I suppose it doesn't matter. Ray Taman will never let go. He feels he owns this town, and he aims to have it be his. Okay, what can you tell me about the Spire? Sometimes I wonder why the Thyan thought it was a good idea to settle here. We already had a Bane problem before the Forgebound set up here. Now that they're using the crossing as one of their main forges, the Bane issue is even worse. Since the Bane are drawn to magical energy, we have to be on our constant alert for them escaping. I have a keystone that can be used to open or seal the door. One of Kairos' soldiers found it while they were looking for a way to seal the doors to keep the Bane from escaping. The sealed door is only a temporary measure, though. It holds the Bane back for now, but it won't last for much longer. That is why Tunon instructed Zdenya to create an artifact to protect Lithian's Crossing from the Bane. Will you let me into the old walls? I'm afraid that's a risk I'm not willing to take, Fatebinder. Once the doors are unsealed, there's a good chance Bane will flood into Lithian's Crossing. As much as I would love to help you, I can't endanger the town like that. They're bad people. Right, that's your thoughts? They were here since the crossing was founded. Lithian herself hired them to protect the settlement when it was just getting started. A fledgling town in the shadow of the old walls. They did such a good job, she kept them on as our peacekeepers, and that's how things went. At least until you decided to oust them and put someone else in their place. Can't say I wouldn't have done the same, truth be told. Taking pay from two employers is always going to end badly if you can't make both of them happy. On top of that, it seems lately that Retamon is traveling a path no one can see, and I don't want to see what's at the end of it. Strict curfews, frequent searches, and no forgiveness for missed iron and grain quotas. That's the deal of it. But the sentries keep constant vigil and treat us with respect. Politeness, even. Most of them call me Elder and bow. If someone's going fishing in your pocket and taking your crops, may as well be kind about it. It's definitely not the situation I would have chosen, but things can always be worse. The water might be up to your knees, but it could also be up to your nose, is what my grandmother would tell me. A few have passed through the crossing in recent times, all headed south to the Stone Sea. At least that's the word of it. The mages didn't stay for long. And I'm glad they kept on traveling. If some madman cast a spell that cracked the foundation of the old walls, praise Kairos it hasn't happened. They toil away in their forge houses day in, night out. Kairos' forces keep them well guarded, since they know how to work binding ore into weapons harder than stone or bronze. I have delivered food and kindling to the forge houses, but never had much contact with the artisan mages. Scarlet Chorus, have they been around here? Can't say that I have a strong opinion one way or the other, really. They didn't seem to care much about leaving the settlement behind. Once the decision was made to let the disfavored have control, they left and I haven't seen much of them since. Puts a hand on your shoulder. I completely understand. The crossing can be a bit intimidating the first time someone arrives, but it's not as complicated as it looks. The river is named Portusker, and it flows down the middle of the settlement. The waterfalls pouring over the old walls are sunrise and moonrise. The west waterfall is sunrise because of how the sun hits it in the morning, and moonrise got its name due to how it glows during a full moon. The crossing itself is broken up into districts named after the waterfalls. The west side of the river is Sunrise District, and the east side of the river is the Moonrise District. The different levels of the Thymes Crossing don't really have names, but most people refer to them as the tiers. My home is considered part of the ground tier. The forge is on the first tier, both in the Moonrise District. Okay. Of course, I must go to the spire to make sure everything is ready. I'll meet you there when Zdenya is ready to place the artifacts. Someone else gonna walk up and we're gonna talk to them? Lohara. A muscular woman stands upright from her forge and turns to look at you, the light of the fire playing across her face, making her eyes dance dangerously. A toothy smile breaks across her mouth, the only bright spot on her soot-stained face. Do you kill with your left hand or your right? She rubs blackened palms together, eyeing you expectantly. Normally I can tell at a glance, but you are a little harder to read. Right. Noted. She clears her throat and wipes her blackened hands on the canvas of her smock. I am Lohara, master of tempering and forge master of the Thymes Crossing. My tasks exceed the hours left in the day, but there is no harm in pausing my work if it means speaking with the Fatebinder. Yeah, let's ask this question. The gauntlet is the hardest piece of the panoply, whatever, and the most rewarding to work. So many scales of so many different sizes. Then there's the rivets. She slides her thumb and fingers together, shedding flecks of soot and iron dust. I imagine you see a lot of battle in your line of work. One gauntlet is invariably going to wear out before the other. My mind is always thinking on what will need repairs first. It's as simple as that. I think we know about all these things. Most certainly. Well, Kairos invented queues for a reason. I have every Iron Walker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them some special this or one of a kind that. Again, we're not really doing any subterfuge stuff here. Wealth! You think I want rings? Sodding rings? Her hand darts to her tool belt, both fists scooping clanky metal pieces. Flinging her hands open, she hurls 2 fistfuls of rings at you. Copper and bronze loops clatter about your feet. Hey, we got rings! This is what I think of your offer. She slides her hand in a diagonal motion before her, emulating arousal of the male member. Find some whore of an artisan willing to trade you for the child of his art for chits of base metal. Damn! Whoa, we must be going. Before I throw you in the forge. Let's see. Utana surveys the room with an air of superiority. He addresses you without making eye contact. Is there something you want? Is there a problem? His eyes carefully watch Lohara as he answers you. Yes, but these are forge-bound matters. Nothing that concerns the High Court of Tunon, I can assure you. Alright. Peace out.
Rend to pieces.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Man, that lady was quite upset. But you know, she's an artist. So the event was up here, right? I think. So if we go up the stairs on the way over. Yeah, that must be it, right? Oh. We may check out these doors later, but so far, like, the doors have been just kind of like, hey, here's some cheese. Hello. Good, good. Now the people of the Thymes Crossing have one less thing they must worry about. Fatebinder, will you go inside and see what effect the helm is having on the Bane? I mean, we do know the law, don't we? Let's ask this first. Give me some credit, Fatebinder. I haven't cast the protection magics on it yet. But before I do that, someone needs to go inside the old walls and ensure everything is working properly. I'm sorry, Zdenya, but the safety of the crossing and its citizens is my top priority. I don't doubt you, but I need to know the Bane are contained. Okay. Thank you, Fatebinder. Your help is invaluable. I just need to know my citizens are safe. Take this. It's the keystone to enter the old walls. The entrance is directly below us. Good luck. Okay. Oh, the kitty. Staff of the Storm's Heart. Let's see here. Some more DPS, but then a higher recovery and less accuracy. Oh, but that looks pretty cool. Alright, cool factor. Worth it. More DPS, but then we lose the Sigil of Life and Regeneration, right? We'll keep what we have, I think. Yeah. I wonder, because this is a keystone, and that's what these like little pillars on the center of the screen use, right? I wonder if this will work on the other one. You remember the areas that we couldn't get to in the previous old walls because there were altars nearby, but they weren't reacting. Those were keystones, right? Well, hey, level up. Okay. That's cool. Guess that helm didn't work. Once per combat, when your health becomes critical, nearby allies have their damage and quickness increased. Inspire a companion, granting bonus might, wits, and vitality. Based on their loyalty. Switch positions with the target. Exhort a companion to improve on the battlefield, granting bonus finesse, quickness, and resolve. Based on their fear. Oh, that's interesting. Plant your banner on the battlefield. You and your party members near the banner regenerate health and receive a bonus to damage. Oh, that sounds pretty sweet. I think people... she's about the same. Whoa, wait, what? Siren is a possible companion? I just noticed this. What? Oh, what? I wonder if this... It's kind of weird that it shows here. But I would assume if you had to be like the Scarlet Chorus side to get Siren. Oh shit. Yeah, I just like what? Well, mostly people are pretty loyal to me. We can give that a shot. Okay. Let's try it now. On verse. And for you... You don't really have many buff spells. In fact, you have like none.
You learn something every day.
Oh, that could be good.
Okay. Oop. Dude, nope. Nope. This one. Wait. Is that the one I wanted? No, this is the one I wanted. Do some of that. Do some of that. Damage resistance. Move over here just so you can get... it's not being aggressive anymore. No. It's doing it again. That kind of sucks. Oh yeah, fireball. Let's do that.
Anyone else want some of this?
Attack. Look at that. She only attacks once. I have to keep reissuing. All right, we're not going to this whole thing with kills and shadows. I can't. I had to click multiple times for her to do it. But it was working last. We gave her a weapon, and then she like all of a sudden worked. Took away the weapon, and then she was still working. But now she's not working again. Oh my god. Yeah, we're not. I'm not dealing with her. She's cool, but clearly something's still off. Damn it. We'll replace her with, hell, maybe we just get Lantry back. Since I'm doing one-handed stuff with tokshen. 2 caches may not be terrible. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end this episode here, everybody, and I'm going to go back to my camp. Okay. Alright, maybe I'm not doing that. Maybe we're just kind of stuck with kills and shadows for right now. Oh boy. Okay, in that case... guess wield that. And I'll see you all in the next episode when we see that the entire town has apparently been murdered. Oh boy, take care.